You know, I was one of the first guys to come on record from the beginning. I told him he can come, and I can teach him some pointers.
So what needs to be done, or what needed to be done to make the fight happen, has been done by the Saudis, and we're close.
The fuse has been lit, and it's Floyd Mayweather who struck the match. The boxing icon isn't sitting in the background. He's charging into the center of the Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. rivalry with full force. Mayweather isn't just supporting Benn. He's actively involved in sharpening him into a cold, calculated war machine. According to Floyd, this rematch isn't going to be a contest. It's going to be a public execution.
I don't care about that, dude. But what kind of question is that? Dude, Conor Benn has not knocked nobody else since he got off this dude.
Mayweather says Benn's transformation is terrifying. No longer the reckless brawler of the past, Conor is now driven, precise, and tactically dangerous under the influence of one of the sport's greatest minds. Mayweather didn't mince words. Chris Eubank Jr. should prepare for humiliation. This won't be just a loss. It'll be a dismantling so brutal there'll be no...
I don't know whether Eubank will take the rematch. I mean...
Does he? So how does it work? Like,
contracted to.
He's contracted. Yeah. What if he doesn't want it?
He may retire. You know,
so his next fight has to be against Conor?
Yeah, signed to, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that was the whole essence.
Unless everyone agrees together.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but...
You guys want it?
Yeah.
Room left for excuses or redemption. Conor's not coming to box, Floyd warned. He's coming to destroy and bury Eubank for good. But not everyone is buying the hype. Enter Rolando "Rolly" Romero, who showed zero respect for Benn or his comeback story. He laughed off the idea that Benn is still relevant, mocking him as a ghost of a once promising name. Rolly jabbed at Benn's drug scandal, claiming it
Conor Benn has got that activity which has plagued him for a long time. We believe he'll be stronger, sharper, and better in the rematch, and looking to overturn the result. So in our mind, nothing else but a Chris Eubank Jr. rematch, and Conor Benn ready to go.
Permanently tainted his legacy. Since that mess, he hasn't knocked out anyone, Romero scoffed. The aura's gone. He's all smoke and mirrors now. In Rolly's eyes, Conor Benn is nothing more than a footnote, irrelevant and overhyped. Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn, ever the promoter, ever the provocateur, poured gasoline on the already raging fire. Hearn launched a scathing attack on Eubank Jr.
I do think I nicked the fight. I wouldn't mind it going either way. You know, but the scorecards were...
Accusing him of dragging his feet despite the rematch being contractually locked in. According to Hearn, Eubank's silence is suspicious. This isn't strategy, he implied. This is fear. Eubank's either stalling or contemplating retirement. He knows what's coming, and he's scared of it. Hearn painted Conor Benn as a fighter reborn, describing him as laser-focused and ferociously dedicated, a man whose training, like his entire career and name, is on the line. That sentiment isn't just PR spin. Benn himself has spiraled into a state of obsession.
Eubank Jr. comes through that. Eubank Jr. Canelo. Here we go.
That's what we want. We get through Conor Benn, and then we want Canelo.
Brilliant.
He's made it clear this isn't just about revenge. It's about rewriting history. Benn knows the stakes. If he can't get that win back, the shadow of his loss to Eubank Jr. will forever define him. But here's the brutal reality. Last time, Eubank didn't just win, he exposed Benn. It wasn't close. It wasn't controversial. It was a systematic breakdown. That first encounter was clinical. Eubank Jr. walked away untouched.
He didn't box anymore because his legs weren't working. Yeah. He was throwing a lot of shots, but nothing had any real power or snap because he didn't have it in him. And so he couldn't force his size advantage on Benn. And Benn showed...
If Benn thinks he's walking into a redemption arc, he might be heading straight into another demolition. This rematch could be humiliation round 2. Eubank Jr.'s manager, Elliot Amuko, certainly thinks so. He recently broke his silence with a blistering statement that confirmed the rematch is nearly finalized. But he didn't stop at confirming the fight. He came out swinging. Amuko ridiculed Benn and his entire team, calling them delusional fools clinging to...
We'll decide whether we do the rematch or drop down to the natural weight 147 and fight for the world title.
Fairy tales. He claimed Conor was lucky to survive the first fight and warned that the sequel won't be a battle, it'll be a slaughter. Eubank is now a perfected killer, Amuko declared. No mercy, no mistakes, just cold execution. Once Benn is flattened, Amuko hinted, the focus shifts to even bigger game, none other than Canelo Alvarez. Veteran trainer and renowned analyst Adam Booth backed that assessment, laying bare a tactical dissection of the first fight. He dismissed every excuse, weight, size, timing. This was
still a baby in the sport, he's still got learning to do, and I think fighting Eubank Jr., who would most be entering the ring bigger than it would last time, I just can't see it. I just can't see it.
It wasn't about pounds, Booth said. It was about levels. Benn, he argued, gassed early, panicked, and mentally collapsed under pressure. Booth said Eubank didn't even need knockout power. He used precision, patience, and pure ring IQ to break Conor apart. Spencer Oliver echoed the sentiment. For him, Benn didn't lose because of disadvantage. He lost because he wasn't ready. It was a calculated beatdown, Oliver stated. Benn didn't belong in there that night. But not everyone agrees. Tony Sims, Conor Benn's coach.
Look, the rematch is going to be enormous, but I just think if they were the same size, it's a mismatch in my opinion. But look, they gave the two men, gave the fight fans one of the best fights ever, and I've got a lot of respect for Eubank and the Eubank name, but I stand on it. I think Conor will beat him.
Is still burning with fury over the decision. He insists his fighter dictated the pace and landed the sharper shots. Conor was robbed, Sims said bluntly. The judges got it wrong, and we want immediate justice. Sims believes the rematch will be a chance to set the record straight, promising fans that a recharged, red-hot Benn is going to flip the script and crush Eubank Jr. Still, the cold truth remains. Eubank Jr. holds the mental and tactical edge. He's the one who stayed composed. He's the one who didn't fold. If that dynamic doesn't change, the result may not either. Trainer Joe Gallagher reinforced that point with his trademark bluntness. Benn is still too raw.
Happy, I already knew what he could do, so I wasn't impressed, wasn't about it. But I knew what he could do, and I'm happy he done it. He was listening, and he did exactly what I thought he'd do, and I'm happy about it.
Too emotional, Gallagher said. This isn't a movie script. Redemption doesn't come because fans want it. Skill wins, experience wins, and Eubank Jr. has both. Gallagher believes the media hype is misleading fans into thinking Benn has a chance. But height can't block a punch, and it won't help when Eubank starts landing. On the flip side, boxing analyst Sam Jones is calling for a major upset. He's flipping the narrative entirely. The only reason Eubank won the first time was size, Jones insisted, not skill. He went after the judges, saying they sugar-coated a fight that was much closer than people realize. In Jones,
I think if Chris has a fight with Conor, it ends up a good fight, but I think Conor's got even more of a chance next time around, because like I said, I think Chris was 1 or 2 fights away from being done. I thought his balance was gone a little bit watching the fight, but like I say, he won, he ended up winning the fight, and so I kind of sound like I'm contradicting myself, if that makes sense.
Conor will come back, he'll be a better fighter, We've got a lot to go back. Well, not a lot to go back, just to be able to take his time.
In his eyes, Benn was sharper, hungrier, and more effective than he got credit for. He believes the rematch will shock the world. This won't be close. Elite trainer Jonathan Banks sided with Team Eubank, dissecting the first bout as a tactical masterpiece. Banks said fans were expecting fireworks, but Eubank gave them something even more devastating: total control. His ring IQ, timing, and composure were masterclass, Banks said. Every time Benn lunged, Eubank made him pay. For Banks, that wasn't just a win, it was a warning to the entire division. That was surgical destruction, and it showed everyone that Eubank Jr. isn't just a showman, he's a predator. But former world champion Liam Smith sees things differently. In his eyes, Eubank Jr. is fading, his footwork sloppy, his reflexes are gone, and he's clinging to past glory, Smith said. He believes Eubank Jr. is sliding into decline, while Benn is rising. Conor's hungrier, more disciplined, and more focused than ever. Smith believes the rematch isn't just about revenge, it's a passing of the torch. This will show who's still a lion and who's running on fumes. I think Eubank's heading into a storm he can't survive. Perhaps the most explosive commentary came from Nigel Benn himself. The legendary icon erupted with emotion, calling the first fight a rigged disgrace. He didn't hold back, branding Chris Eubank Jr. as a soulless media creation who exploited Conor's darkest moment. Nigel didn't just demand a rematch, he promised retribution. That wasn't a fight. That was an ambush. We want blood now. Nigel insisted that this time, his son will be locked in, focused, and absolutely feral. No more distractions, no more mistakes. Nigel's after the feet of souls. Nigel's after, this time Eubank gets exposed and broken. He painted the rematch as more than just a fight. It's a mission to restore family pride and erase public shame. And Eddie Hearn, never one to miss a headline, continued to fan the flames. He called the rematch an explosive war, with no excuses. The stakes are sky high, the animosity is personal, and according to Hearn, the sport is demanding answers, in blood, sweat, and broken bones. So who wins this war? Is it Chris Eubank Jr., the icy tactician who's already dismantled Benn once and promises to do it again?